just after 9 o'clock Eastern Time on a rocket and capsule built by his private company, Blue Origin.
Jeff Bezos' founded space company, Blue Origin, has had a bad one this time. It's pretty shocking that the new BE-4 engine that the company has been working on for a long time just failed again during its testing stage. With this failure and several others, it seems like Blue Origin hasn't got it right with their rocket engine. After all, no perfect skill was mastered from birth, but continuous practice and multiple failures makes us figure out the suitable method to make things work. But for Blue Origin, it may be a different ballgame entirely, because the development of the BE-4 engine hasn't made the company see headway in their space ventures. It's always been about failures upon failures, and that has kept the BE-4 engine just at the manufacturing stage without crossing the testing stage before it will fail or blow up. What actually made the Blue Origin BE-4 engine fail? And why has it continued failing without surviving the testing stage all this while that it's been under development? Stay until the end of this video today, as we will reveal why Blue Origin has not succeeded with the BE-4 engine over all these years. We will also discuss why the BE-4 always fails anytime it reaches the testing stage. Jeff Bezos and Blue Origin have made plans to land on the moon with no intentions to land on Mars, just like SpaceX and Elon Musk. But unfortunately for Blue Origin, the several failures of the BE-4 engine have been a setback for the company to see the hope of landing on the moon. And Blue Origin hasn't shown up on the news because there is little success that should be celebrated. Instead of moving forward, they keep facing challenges upon challenges. The BE-4 engine is expected to generate 2.4 meganewtons of thrust at sea level. The engine was initially designed to be used on a Blue Origin-owned launch vehicle called New Glenn, the company's first orbital rocket. But it has been extended to also be used by the United Launch Alliance Vulcan Centaur launch vehicle, which will replace the Atlas V launch vehicle. The first flight test of the new engine was scheduled for the Vulcan rocket in 2022, even though it has previously been slated to fly as early as 2019. As of August 2021, the engine is 4 years behind schedule. Blue Origin has encountered several management and technical issues with the engine development program, which have delayed the engine from being flight qualified. And even when we're now in 2022, the engine will not still fire up to Leo because of its recent failure. If we want to compare, there has been a much success gap between SpaceX and Blue Origin. While SpaceX keeps being ahead of the space program and have their resounding success on the news and social media platforms, especially Twitter, the Blue Origin is yet to make a renowned success. Instead, they have been languishing behind and fighting many devils created by the BE-4 engine. The difference is that SpaceX succeeded, whereas Blue Origin has yet to launch a paying passenger despite having been in business for longer than SpaceX and having access to much funding for most of their history. Blue Origin must innovate more if they are trying to achieve these goals they have set for themselves. They need to be testing faster and start actually meeting their own deadlines. BE-4 is so late and has so many issues that it's impossible not to make comparisons with SpaceX's Raptor engine. Bezos appears to be more of a wealthy grosser with a rocket company than a leader in the space engineering industry. And much like he is not passionate about engineering, unlike Elon Musk, who is ready to spend sleepless nights and weeks to get things working in SpaceX, Jeff Bezos would want to enjoy the wealthy lifestyle as the third richest man in the world without going low for engineering creativity. SpaceX has put a lot of work towards automating the design and simulation-based validation processes and delivering the machinery they designed with the aid of automation. They have invested in an end-to-end 3D modeling system that allows them to examine, simulate, and automatically print parts with the help of conventional computer-aided design CAD tools like CATIA. The software is quick, even when handling complex structures, which keeps engineers from having to wait and promotes a fast design approach. They can take the concept from your mind, translate that into a 3D object quickly, as Elon Musk puts it, and be able to print it out and have it in reality. Musk is considering ways to empower his engineers and make it feasible to complete tasks from design to testing as quickly and efficiently as possible, or how to shorten the production cycle. Of course, since some parts will be made of costly materials like titanium and Inconel, judgment is required when deciding whether to print. Having a direct path from design to print at SpaceX, design and simulation are very important. Still, they don't aim to make a design flawless before they try it. They frequently build and test in addition to designing and simulating. They believe that developing something and pushing it to failure will teach them more than 100 simulations. They refer to this strategy as hardware rich. It's known to be a fail-fast method in the agile world. They make multiple prototypes and test them in various ways instead of designing one prototype for months or years. For instance, their brand new Raptor 2 engine, which has 2 pre-combustion chambers, one fuel-rich and the other oxygen-rich, is now the most sophisticated rocket engine in use following this method. Instead of spending years perfecting a complex design before attempting to build anything, SpaceX has succeeded in creating their best design, trying it, pushing it to the point where it explodes, measuring what happens, and then going back to the drawing board and trying again and again and again. They don't spend an eternity trying to improve each version, which would be extremely expensive. Instead, they build what their design specifies quickly. They want to get the advice to the test stand, regardless of flaws. However, Blue Origin does not follow the hardware-rich strategy entirely. Instead, they want to build one BE-4 engine and simulate and test it before going on to the next, which takes a long time. Instead of creating many, simulate and test one and apply the fault correction on one tested on others. Blue Origin engineers have been tossing and turning day and night to tackle the BE-4 challenges for nearly a decade. In contrast, SpaceX has not only ramped up manufacturing to speeds, but also developed several more enhanced versions on its very first static fire last year. SpaceX's first finished Raptor 2 prototype appears to have nearly snatched before crown, temporarily generating a primary combustion chamber pressure of 321 bar and up to 245 tons of thrust. The design is now even more stable. SpaceX has removed several flanges from the engine, and they hope to remove all sidewalls in Raptor 2, increasing thrust to 250 tons. What a fantastic breakthrough! Let's flash back to the real cause of the Blue Origin BE-4 delay. Why have the BE-4 engines taken so long to arrive after more than 4 years? There appear to have been numerous contributing variables, some of which can be linked to founder Jeff Bezos, who has been occasionally occupied, some to Bob Smith, the new CEO Bezos hired to lead Blue Origin in 2017, and some to the COVID-19 pandemic. Sources have noted that the lack of hardware-rich testing and development facilities for the BE-4 engine has been a recurrent issue. As a result, the Washington facility lacks the materials necessary to produce research engines, delaying testing on Blue Origin's Texas stands for extended periods. This was a surprise because in the spring of 2017, Smith boasted openly about how hardware-rich their development program was, as of late 2017 when he took over as CEO. However, Smith appears to have emphasized a massive overhaul of Blue Origin's leadership over the improvement of new technology. The BE-4 crew was not given complete flexibility and all the resources required to move forward at full scale because other projects proceed at full throttle. Hardware with more features and functions will usually cost more, allowing a program to run more quickly. For example, if your application has a lot of extra hardware, you can buy 10 parts from the same vendor, even though you only need 2. The idea is to keep spares at hand in case of breakdowns, which are inevitable in any technical development program, especially those dealing with rockets and engines. Also, it appears that conditions at Blue Origin improved when propulsion engineer John Vilger arrived roughly 2 years ago. For engines, Vilger holds the position of Senior Vice President. His sources say he understands the importance of working in a hardware-rich environment when designing an engine. Hence, it seems like Blue Origin is on track to increase output in future, with the chances of developing 10 or more BE-4 engines before 2025 and further boosting production. A group that aims to find ways to save costs has also been organized by Vilger, so that the team may concentrate on completing the first ULA engines. He has kept this work distinct from the development process till the BE-4 engine comes alive and works without flaws. Let's hope for the best from Blue Origin this time around. While across the street there are some troubles too, SpaceX Chopsticks is not working either. Elon Musk's in big trouble. Just click on the video to know more about this.